Minnesota lawmakers are talking about a bill that would strengthen ties with local law enforcement officials and ICE officials on future arrests. ABC 6 News reporter Chandler Jackson has been looking into this for us. And Chandler, what can you tell us about this bill?
Yeah, Maisie, supporters of the legislation call it narrowly focused and say it aligns with pre-existing federal legislation. But those against it say it could violate due process laws and would be an unnecessary burden on local resources.
It's been 1 month since federal immigration operations took place in and around Rochester, putting immigrant communities on high alert. And now, a new bill could make it easier for ICE to work with local law enforcement on those kinds of operations.
So what this bill does is it makes sure that we have an open line of communication between local authorities and the federal government in dealing with violent or dangerous criminals in our community.
The bill's goals include compelling local agencies to report undocumented immigrants arrested in violent crime cases to ICE and prohibit local governments from adopting sanctuary city-type policies. Supporters of the bill say it mirrors existing federal laws like the Lake and Riley Act.
I don't view this as a quote-unquote messaging bill. I do view this as a practical bill to solve the problem of crime in our communities.
Opponents, however, say the bill opens up the door to violating certain civil rights.
When we look at these efforts in the state of Minnesota, what they're really trying to do is undermine due process, so that if someone accuses me of a crime or someone accuses me of being undocumented, now suddenly I'm suspect and I have to be reported out and my data has to be shared with ICE.
Multiple letters of opposition, including some from law enforcement and attorney groups, outline concerns about federal use of local resources. Previously, I was told local law enforcement keeps interactions with ICE to a minimum and generally don't hold people for the agency.
The only way we would hold someone at a federal level beyond a local level charging process and then being released would be if it was a warrant or some other court order.
This bill may change that.
In a statement from the Rochester Police Department, I was told, quote, as with any new legislation, we would receive guidance from our judicial partners to interpret any changes that would affect our enforcement procedures or policies. So how exactly this bill would affect our agencies here in Southeast Minnesota is unclear at this time. Live in the newsroom, Chandler Jackson, ABC.